You know wasps have taken over a part of your home when the children no longer want to run through the back door, the dog avoids the steps, and the porch chair sits empty on the nicest afternoon of the week. By then it is no longer just a few lost wasps flying around. It is a sign that something around your home is pulling them back. Wasps seldom choose a place completely at random. They look for quiet spots, cracks where they can hold on food, nearby fallen fruit, open trash cans, or old nest marks still left behind. A spray can may drop a few right in front of you, but it does not solve the nest, the part that is truly dangerous. Today I will show you 5 layers to take back your porch, with the first way starting with something many folks would throw in the trash, an old Pepsi can. But that can is only the first layer. If you want wasps not to return to the same place every season, you must understand the rest of the system too. Do not pick up that spray can again before you know how your own home is inviting them. The Amish principle for getting rid of wasps. Let me start with this. Most ways people try against wasps fail, not because they are completely useless, but because they only handle the part they can see. You spray a few wasps, knock down a small nest, and think it is finished. But if the house still has food, old cracks, old smells, and a quiet corner under the eaves next season, they may come back. In my home, my father used to say, if a creature chooses your porch, first ask why it finds that place worth staying. That question matters more than the spray can. The first thing we learned is not to look only at the wasp in front of us. If the problem is in a nest you cannot see, you need a way for the worker wasps to carry bait back to where they came from. I will explain that more clearly in the first way. But if the nest is already hanging right by the kitchen door, you cannot just stand around and wait for a trap to work. When the nest is still small, easy to see, and in a place that can be handled safely, there is a faster way, using water and soap. If they come back to the same roof corner every year, the problem is no longer today's wasp. The problem is the old trace, the old crack, and the surface where they still want to land. That is why we need the third and fourth ways. Last of all, the porch does not need to become a dead zone. There are softer layers like herbs around the door to make the place where the family lives less inviting while keeping the garden alive. So do not look at these 5 ways as 5 separate tips. They are 5 layers. And I want to begin with the one I trust most. Sometimes the whole thing starts with an old Pepsi can. Method 1, making a bait station so wasps carry it back to the nest. I like to start with an old Pepsi can, not because Pepsi has anything special in it, but because that can reminds me not to run out and buy more too quick. In my home, before we go to the store, we look once at what can still be used. An empty soda can, a little apple juice left over a nearly empty jam jar, an old plastic bottle, or a small wooden stick after fixing the barn. Do not begin this way by asking, what do I need to buy? Begin by asking what is already in the house that can be used again. That is the spirit of this tip. The important part is not the can. It is how you use it. With this bait station, you are not trying to make the wasp die inside the can. You want it to crawl in, eat a little, and then fly away. I have tried traps that make wasps drown inside. When people see them full of dead bodies, they think they have won. But a few days later, the wasps are still back on the porch. The trouble is, that kind of trap kills the wasp out in the yard, but it does not touch the nest behind it. A bait station is different. It is meant for yellow jackets and social wasps. The worker wasp finds the bait, eats it. then returns to the place it came from. If done right, that little can reach the nest you cannot see. The way to make it is very simple. Pour a little sweet bait into the bottom of a canned plastic bottle or jam jar. You can use apple juice, a little old Pepsi, or flat Sprite. Only pour in a little not so deep that a wasp falls in and drowns. Then add a small amount of boric acid and stir until it dissolves well. If you see white powder settled clearly on the bottom, dilute it or make it again. With this method, just enough is better than too much. By late summer or early fall, yellow jackets are often not only looking for sugar. They are feeding a nest full of hungry mouths. You will see them gather around fallen apples, ripe fruit, sweet tree sap, hummingbird, sugar water, trash cans, or meat on the picnic table. At that time, I like to add a little orange juice, a few small orange pieces, a little apple cider vinegar for that fermented fruit smell, and a very small piece of protein bait like chicken or beef-flavored cat food. A piece the size of a fingertip is enough. Too much protein bait will smell bad and draw wild animals. The detail many folks miss is the wooden stick. Put a small stick, a piece of paint, stir stick, or a clean dry twig into the can so it reaches near the bottom and sticks out. It helps the wasp crawl down to eat and crawl back out again. If it dies in the can, the story ends in the can. If it flies back to the nest, then the can is truly doing its work. The strength of a bait station is that it handles nests you cannot see, but its weakness is time. It is not the way I use when a small nest is already hanging right in front of the kitchen door. Then I do not wait. I take water and dish soap. Method 2. Spraying water mixed with dish soap. A bait station needs time, but in Pennsylvania on cool summer mornings, if I see a small nest under the kitchen door eaves in the corner of the shed or beside the barn door, I do not wait a few days. When the nest is still small, handling it is usually much simpler than when it has grown crowded with wasps. I am talking about nests that hang low, are easy to see, and are in a place you can reach safely. For that kind, water mixed with dish soap is an old tip worth keeping. I learned this not from an expensive chemical bottle, but from the dish sink. My mother used to say that soap helps water cling to an insect's body instead of sliding off. When a wasp is fully covered wet, it drops fast and has a hard time flying again. You only need clean water, a little ordinary dish soap, and a hand pump spray bottle or a small garden sprayer. Mix it so the water feels a little slick and makes light foam. Do not make it thick. And do not add bleach, ammonia, insecticide, or any strange chemical. Keep the formula simple. Adding more chemicals does not make it better, it only makes it harder to control. The best time is early morning or evening when the air is cool and the wasps are less active. Stand at a safe distance. Do not stand where you are trapped. Keep away to leave behind you. Spray straight at the nest and the wasps clinging around it. Spray enough to wet it well, not just a light mist on the outside. Spraying halfway is a big mistake. It can stir the wasps up without being enough to handle the nest. But I will say this clearly, this way is not for large nests, nests high up where you must climb a ladder, nests inside walls, nests under the ground, or nests near electricity. The strength of soapy water is that it is fast and cheap. The weakness is that it only handles the nest in front of your eyes. If you finish that and leave the old marks, wooden cracks, and quiet roof corner just as they were next season, the wasps still have a reason to come back. So when I no longer see wasps flying in and out, I move to the next work, scrape away the old nest, wash the old spot, and seal the cracks. Method 3, scrape the old nest, wash the old spot, seal the cracks. After a wasp nest has been handled, many folks only knock down the paper nest and think the job is done. In my home, we do not do it that way. To us, the old nest spot is like a barn corner after winter. If old trash, old smell, and old cracks are still there, the new season can easily begin in that very place. First of all, only do this when you no longer see wasps flying in and out. Do not scrape a nest while it is still active. Do not do this with a large nest, a high nest, a nest in a wall, a nest under the ground, or a nest near electricity. When the area is quiet, wear gloves and use a long tool to remove the old nest. Scrape away the nest paper, dirt scraps, and leftover attachment marks on the wood or eaves. Do not use bare hands. Put everything into a sealed bag and take it away from the living area. Then wash the old spot with mild soapy water. If the surface can handle it, you may use diluted vinegar. The goal is not to bleach it hard, but to clean away old residue and smell. With painted wood, metal, or surfaces that can be damaged, test a small corner first. After washing, let it dry. But there are hollows and roof edges that cannot be sealed completely. For those places, I need a longer lasting treatment layer. That is the fourth way. Do not leave the video now, or all your effort may turn useless. Method 4. Treating cracks, eaves, and old hollows with dust. There are cracks you can seal, but there are also roof edges, wood hollows, porch eaves, and shed corners that cannot be closed up like a jar. They still need air, still need a way for dampness to escape, and they are still part of the house. For those places, I think of an insect dust treatment layer. This is how I use it for places where wasps keep coming back to check porch eaves, dry wood gaps under roof overhangs, cross beams in the shed hollows, around the garage cracks near outdoor lights, or dark corners where every year a few wasps circle as if they still remember the road. The good thing about treatment dust is that it does not chase each wasp one by one. It treats the place where they land. Wasps do not build a nest in empty air. They land, crawl in, test the wood surface, check the dark crack, and only then decide whether to begin a new nest. If that place has been treated the right way, the very spot they meant to choose becomes the thing that makes them not want to stay. You can use a dedicated insect dust like Delta dust or a similar product, but you must read the label first. Do not use it from memory. Do not use it from rumor. And do not think every dust is the same as every other dust. The way to do it is not to turn the whole porch roof white. Use a small dusting tip or a dust blower and put a thin layer into the exact crack, exact corner, or exact hollow where wasps keep coming. With treatment dust, little and in the right place is far better than much and careless. If you see dust falling all over the floor, blowing into the vegetable garden, sticking to flowers, or lying where dogs and cats walk, then you are using too much. There are a few places I avoid completely. Do not dust near flowers where bees are pollinating. Do not dust near the vegetable garden, fish pond, water trough animal feed, or any place where little children, dogs, cats, or chickens can touch it. Do not dust into a crack if you suspect a whole colony is still trapped inside and not yet handled. And do not seal an entrance while wasps are still active behind a wall, because when they are trapped, they may find another way into the house. By now, you are near to mastering the whole system. There is only one final layer left to complete it, and it is also the thing that makes me proudest of the Amish way of life. Method 5. Placing pots of mint and herbs around the porch. At the kitchen door of my home, there are always a few pots of plants that are not just there to look pretty. Mint for tea, basil for supper, rosemary to rub on my hands after I have just come in from the garden. Those plants stand there because they are useful, and if their strong smell makes wasps less fond of hanging around the door, then they are even more worth keeping on the porch steps. You can place a few herb pots on both sides of the porch steps, near the kitchen door, along the path to the garden, or beside the shed door. Mint fits well where folks walk past often because just rubbing a few leaves makes the smell rise up clear. Basil fits near the kitchen door where you can pinch off a few leaves while cooking. Rosemary handles sun better, so put it in a dry, bright corner. Lemongrass has a strong smell, so place it where the wind can carry the scent across the entrance, but do not put it right beside the dining table. With mint, I always plant it in a pot. If you put it straight into the ground, it can spread fast and take over the whole bed. A clay pot, well draining soil, enough sun, and steady watering are enough. The healthier the plant, the clearer the smell. A dry, withered pot with yellow leaves and cracked soil will not help much. I also will not tell you to set one pot of mint in front of a large nest and expect everything to disappear. That is not wisdom, that is dodging the trouble. Herbs are best used after you have handled the nest, cleaned up leftover food, covered the trash can, and want the porch to be less inviting day after day. And do not put herbs beside a plate of grilled meat, a glass of soda, ripe fruit, or a hummingbird sugar water feeder, and think the plant smell will beat everything. If you put wasp bait on one side and a mint pot on the other, the wasps will listen to the food smell first. That is why I put herbs last, not first. It is not the way to save a porch that has a large nest. It is the keeping layer after you have handled the thing that needed handling. By now you have all 5 ways: a bait station for a hidden nest, soapy water for a small nest, scraping, washing, and sealing old cracks, treatment dust for spots where wasps keep returning, and herbs to make the porch less inviting every day. But there is one thing I want to say clearly before you try any of these ways. These tips can help make the home more peaceful, but if you put them in the wrong place, use them at the wrong time, or treat the wrong kind of insect, they can work against you. Listen close now. Some notes you should not skip. Before you try any of these ways, there are a few things I always say in my own home. Old ways never mean careless ways. First, do not handle nests that are too dangerous by yourself. If the nest is too large high up on the roof, inside a wall, in the attic, under the ground, near a walkway, or right beside wires, lights, outlets, or an electrical box, step back. Saving a few dollars is not worth a fall, a bad sting, or a trip to emergency care. If someone in the house has a serious allergy to stings, you should not try it yourself, all the more. Second, do not use gasoline fire, WD-40 with a lighter, or pour strange chemicals into a nest. I understand the feeling when wasps take over your porch, but being angry at wasps is one thing. Burning the porch, breathing toxic fumes, or damaging the wall of your home is another thing. Third, do not aim at the wrong bees. Honeybees, bumblebees, and the kinds that help the garden bear fruit are not the enemy. A dangerous nest near the door needs to be handled, but a bee working on a flower should be left alone. Fourth, keep bait, treatment, dust, and spray away from little children, dogs, cats, chickens, fish, ponds, water troughs, vegetable gardens, blooming flowers, animal feed and hummingbird sugar, water feeders. The goal is to keep the porch safe, not harm the very things we are trying to protect. Last, with boric acid insect treatment, dust, or any product that has a label, read the label and use the right amount. Self-control does not mean ignoring directions. Self-control means understanding what you are using, where you are using it, and why. Where are you watching this video from? Where you live, do wasps or yellow jackets build nests under the eaves, near the kitchen door, in the shed, or around the garden like they do at my place? If you have seen signs of them, tell me this. Where are they flying around? Where did you find the nest? And what have you tried to handle it with? Or do you have another old tip from your parents, grandparents, neighbors, or your own countryside? I have always believed the best tips are not only in books or on store shelves. Many times they live in the memory of each family. So share your way below. Maybe your tip will help another family take back their porch. And if you want to learn more old ways of living that are practical, waste less, and depend less on outside things, subscribe to Yoder Plain. I will see you again in the new videos.